It's the first night, so everything's possible.
Hey, everybody, we're live. Me and James here. Welcome to the studio. I think we got Duck Bacon in the house, too. I'm going to try to get him on here. You guys got to be patient with me. Hey, Duck, what's up?
How's it going?
Well, I'm using Restream for the first time, so everything's a nice little learning experience, as it were. I don't like that layout. Okay, that worked. I was trying to get my Hootenanny up where you can see my screen and take me off because no one wants to see my ugly mug because I'm drawing digitally. But as James found out, and I found out also, it took me completely out. So we're just getting used to it, I guess. So what's going on in everybody else's neck of the woods?
I finally made it to the comic book shop yesterday.
Ooh, get anything good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, y'all want to see it?
Sure.
Yeah, do tell. Show us the good stuff.
Show us the good stuff. All right. Let's see here. How do I do it? There. All right. Got this Uncanny X-Men 252.
All right. Now, I'm trying to figure out how do I make it bigger.
You got your camera mirrored.
There we go.
What do I do?
You got your camera mirrored. You want to flip the camera.
How do I take that? Yeah, how do I do that?
Click on your camera.
Uh-huh.
Okay, see down below at the bottom of the sections, it should say mirrored. Turn it off.
Let's see.
What have you done, Duck Bacon?
Oh!
There you go. There you go.
There.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Got a Jim Lee cover, and then on the inside, it's got Rick Leonardi.
Yep.
And,
That is old
also,
Jim Lee.
I had never paid attention to this, but actually it was Kent Williams who did the inks.
No
This
kidding.
is
Yep.
going back. It's going back to the.
Yeah, you still have a mirror, but mirrored, but
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
All right.
Hey, Al.
Well,
Al dear. Glad that you joined us.
anyway, it was really awesome artwork. Really great.
What year is that, dude?
That's going to be 88, I believe, or 87.
80 something backwards. What is that? I can't
That's
read
all right. We'll just say it's dyslexia. It looks like 88.
that. 88 somewhere around there. We got that, and we got this boy again.
Oh, yeah, with Rob Liefeld.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore. Oh, what is going on? Should
You're
I turn
shaking
to
the
side,
camera?
maybe? Should I turn to the side? No.
Are you on your phone, dude?
Yep.
Yeah, you're shaking the camera. You're shaking your phone.
All right. Well, there we go.
Yep. I know that. I have that. I have those.
Classic cover, dude. Classic.
Yeah, especially with the swipe from the G.I. Joe
Yeah.
black gun.
Oh, yeah. Roadback.
Got this New Mutants 92,
Figured scroll.
New Mutants 91.
They make a good band.
I'm just filling in gaps. I got a long shot 4, 5, 6.
So you hit the back issue, Ben.
Oh yeah.
Not
Hey
bad.
man, it you know what? It's all for us now. Like in
Yeah.
the back issues. I'm able to find some really awesome classics. Got
Oh,
the
dude,
Art-
you see?
Art
Look, go back.
Album.
That comic, right? You got right there, the Uncanny X-Men Annual.
There we go.
That's my first comic book I ever stole.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I stole it from Army Boot Camp.
Nice.
Got me back into comics. Art Adams.
And of course, I had to go with the Silvestri Uncanny X-Men.
You must go with Silvestri. Absolutely. Good call.
Always. And this, oh man, this is such a beautifully done. It's like really Silvestri. My goodness.
Oh,
it's
hell
so
yeah.
hard to, there we go.
Okay, time for some fun.
Oh,
Yep.
God. You're going to make James show off, aren't you?
Yep.
Competitive
And then
spirit.
got this.
That's one of my favorite issues right there.
Yeah, just filling in the gap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So You want to go full screen for a minute?
All right, I got you, bro. Hang on. All right, bye, Doug.
All right.
You're going to love this.
Let me see here. People, bear with me. We're using Restream. I'm trying to figure it out. So, oh, you bitch. You got Jim Lee's. Oh, I hate you, dude. I hate you so much right now.
Wait, you don't have that either?
I can't afford that right now. That's like $100 and
Well,
some
I
bucks.
could. Yeah, not mine.
Come on, Max. You want to come up here and say hi to everybody?
These are the copies of the actual pages. So
Oh,
the book you just had open.
Oh yeah.
Here's one of the. Here's
oh, I'm so jealous of you right now, dude.
the.
Mm-hmm.
That's full size too, isn't it?
I love it. It's like a
Oh,
dream
yeah.
come true.
Oh yeah, you can see.
I got fanboy chub going on right now. So beautiful.
So it's got everything. It's got, of course, the beautiful pages with Rogue in her famous.
Oh yeah, everybody loves the Savage Land get up.
Yep.
But that's not the page. That's not my favorite page. My favorite page is over here. Let me pull it up real quick. My favorite page is this one.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the infamous full page spread of Rogue nude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Covered with soapy suds.
Yes, covered with soapy suds.
Strategically placed soapy suds.
Oh yes. Now I have this one, but I also have something else.
If you whip out the Todd McFarlane Artist Edition, I'm gonna cry. Live on stream.
How about this one?
Well, that ain't
Nice.
so bad. That's just DC work.
Oh no!
That's okay.
Oh no! It's not just DC work. Mm-mm.
Why are you doing this to me, man? I thought we were friends.
It's not just DC work.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna do it anyway, aren't you?
Wildstorm.
It's Wildstorm.
Nice.
You know what, man? There are words to describe people like you
That's awesome.
that I really shouldn't say in
Look
friendly
at
company.
that. Look at that.
Damn it. Oh, that Wildcat shot that you just flipped by not that
Beautiful.
long ago. I love that shot.
This one.
Yeah, dude. That's the business right there.
Is that a Divine Right on the next page? What is that?
Divine Right. Yeah.
This is.
I saw
I'll
that.
skip pages.
Oh, that's Death Blow. Yeah.
Gen
Gen
13.
13.
Now we're getting Divine Right.
You notice Gen 13 just ain't coming back? Like, they tried to bring Wildstorm back. They're even bringing Youngblood now with Rob. I wonder if Gen 13 is ever going to come back.
I don't know if it could.
Since you
It could be brought back.
brought up Gen 13.
I mean, Gen 13 was the shizzle back in the day.
I can tell you probably didn't see this come up.
No, I didn't see that. What do you got there?
Nice.
And if you notice, it's by
DC. Well, yeah, they
What,
now.
Who's doing the art?
this is
That's the collected edition, right? That's early J.
Oh,
Scott.
okay.
You're
Okay.
there.
yeah, this is all
Yeah,
J. Scott
right.
Campbell stuff.
Awesome. Can't go wrong with Campbell.
Damn it, man.
And
Oh,
if I really want to rub salt in everybody's wounds,
oh Lord, here we go.
my original Jim Lee artwork.
Nice. Yep. Yep. That's good.
Okay, it's a sketch.
Yeah, but it is by him.
So beautiful.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
And then
Dale,
my
Dale.
name too.
we're on Gen 16 now.
What is that? I can't see that. What is that?
Well, what do you got now, man? Don't you ever get done showing off?
Nice.
Oh, is that gold? Gold
Yeah.
cover?
That's the goal.
Ah!
You are a true aficionado, my friend.
That is sweet.
You just go for it all, don't you?
Oh yeah, I mean
You got I think it's number 2 with the holographic background. You got that one?
yes I do.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, right? Wildcats 2.
Yes, but I've got the other one,
What other one?
the white cover,
Oh, really? Because that's the one I got.
the one that's white.
Oh, man, I don't have it anymore. The public library has it, but yeah.
Well, the white one's the rare one.
I took the great majority of my comics and donated them to the public library.
No, I still have all mine.
The only
Okay.
comics I kept was I got two comics that are signed by Bo Smith. I can't remember the name. It's his original character.
I've got 4 long boxes of signed comic books.
All right, John Jr., I hear you.
What's your address again?
And I got some very heavily beat up copies of Jim Lee Uncanny X-Men that I'm never ever going to part with. The covers are falling off of them. They're well read. They're dog-eared, but I'm never ever going to part with them.
Well, that's how my original Wildcats #1 is.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got like 4 different copies of it. So I've got like a reader copy. Then I've got 2 golds.
Come here,
I've
Max.
got one that's a 9.2, and I've got one that's not slabbed. And then I've got a 9.8 regular Wildcats #1.
Come on, you looking for your milk? Hang on. There's your food. I got to share my desk with my cat.
Hey, hold on just a second. How about
Are you going to show off again? Duck, come on, dude. Oh, you got your boy up there with you, huh?
girl?
Girl? What's her name?
Yeah.
She's adorable.
Maggie.
Aw. Hi, Maggie.
Oh.
She looks a lot like my old cat, Tiffy, before she passed away.
The kitty stream.
Tiffy was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my boy Max over here. He's not on camera at the moment. He's too busy eating his treats. I found some lobster and macaroni and cheese. Either Friskies makes it or Temptations. All I know is that cat loves that shit, man. And then I got some grilled shrimp last night for takeout, you know. So I'm sitting here, we're watching ER, me and Mom. I pretty much eat at the desk. Got the desk in the living room because basically I live out here, you know. We're watching ER, eating our dinner. He comes up here and he tries to take the shrimp out of my hand. I'm like, so I guess you want it? So I took and cut it all up for him. Munch, 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 munch. Cat, I tell you, he surprises me every day with some of the stuff he eats. He loves fish, though. He's definitely a seafood cat.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think the final results of the poll on Twitter, the people want me to design the Mega Mission bad guy tonight, so that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
I had asked James earlier if he thought a guy with a beard without a mustache was more evil than a guy with a beard with a mustache, and we're going with a beard with no mustache.
I'm trying to decide who I'm gonna draw. Any recommendations?
Well,
What are your choices?
Yeah, do you have choices?
Anyone? Preferably Marvel.
Marvel. Let me see. Do you draw a lot of females?
Sure.
Okay. Well, F it. Do Savage Lane Rogue.
All right.
Keep in with the theme of the stream,
Theme with the string.
even though this stream has no theme. And, you know, people in the chat, there's 11 people watching. Hallelujah. If you got any recommendations, you know, send them to Duck before he gets started. Maybe you'll inspire him to do something even better. Although, blasphemy for saying that you can do better than a rogue in the Savage Lane get up.
I just drawn. Let's see. Here, hold on. Let me take out some inspiration, Don.
Uh-oh.
Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, take out some inspiration here. What can I?
What are you doing to me, man?
Rogue. Oh, I thought everybody had this. What's the problem?
I don't have it. That's the problem. I don't have it. I'm saving up to get it, but I mean, every time I go on Amazon and look, it seems like the price has gone up a little more.
Oh yeah.
I got it the day it came out.
If only Jim Lee wasn't so popular, you know, like
You just you know what your problem is. You always have to have money. You know, I mean, like if you always have money, then you got no problem.
yeah, friggin' money, right? Usually I'll get money, and then there's always these guys named Bill that come in the mailbox at least once or twice a month that want me to send them money.
Yeah, I tried to
I don't
avoid
know who this Bill guy is, but I'm always paying him off.
Yeah,
Really pisses me off.
you got to ignore him.
Well, I tried that once before when I was younger. It didn't work out so well. Next thing you know, I got no
Turn the lights
vehicle, nowhere to live. The cops are picking me up on the side of the road when I'm trying to turn tricks 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing, man? I'm trying to pay bill.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
What, the trick turning or the not paying the bill part?
Both.
I jest. So, okay, dude, Duck, have you read Absolute Batman yet?
I've just heard about it. I don't know if I'm, it's already.
Well, James is trying to get it. He's trying to get the physical copy. I think you said from
Right.
Kayla?
Yeah, Kayla's got. She's sending me the Jim Lee cover, the 1 in 100, and she's sending me 2 blanks.
I've heard mixed reviews. What have y'all
I
heard?
don't particularly care for it.
I have not read it yet, but I have heard from everybody around me they like it, and it's sold out everywhere everywhere I go.
It's
Right.
a good idea. I don't think it was done that great, but this is just me. I mean, the artwork was pretty good. I like the artwork,
Right.
but it was also, again, this is me talking. Okay, it seemed like it was a little too inconsistent. Like it was cartoony in some places, kind of grim and gritty in others. I don't know, man. It just seems to me that if it's Batman, it should be gritty. You know what I mean? Just straight up gritty, absolute or otherwise. But again, everybody's got their own preferences. I'm not trying to trash mouth anybody. I hope it does succeed. I say good for them. DC needs a lifeline. It just not for me. I'll probably check out issue 2 just to see what's going on.
I usually go 3 issues, and then I decide whether I like it or not.
Yeah, I used to do that too. And then you get burned a few times. Kayla asked a good question on Twitter. It was a couple days ago about cover. Can you judge a book by its cover? Comics?
No, you cannot.
No, you can't,
No.
dude. I cannot tell you. The first time that shit happened to me, I hadn't been to. We went underway. I hadn't, I was in the Navy. Hadn't been to I didn't got any fresh comics in a while. I was amped. I was ready to get some. This is back in the heyday of Jim Lee and the X-Men, right? So I go into the Now, first of all, I had to take a trolley and walk 2 miles to this freaking store. So I'm already, not in a great mood.
Where are you at?
San Diego at the time.
Oh, huh.
And I get in there. I'm excited. I got money. It's New Comic Book Day. Well, not New Comic Book Day, but for me it was. I'm ready to get some comics. I pick up this book. It's Uncanny X-Men, or it might have been X-Men. I don't even remember. But it had a Jim Lee cover on it. And this is before I had lost my trust, okay? I would just see the cover, like, oh, damn, that's cool. Grab it and get it and buy it. Well, I did that, and then I got to the trolley station. I'm sitting there. I got this big bag of comics. I go straight for the Jim Lee one. I bring it up, and it's friggin' Brandon Peterson. Or somebody else. I'm like, are you what is this trash?
This is late 92, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this trash compared to the Master? This is bullshit.
Yep.
This is false advertising.
I know
Made me
exactly.
so mad.
I know exactly what issue that is too, because I can tell you why. Because I picked it up at Camp Casey, and this is when they had just Jim Lee and them had just quit and started forming Image, and they were scrambling, and they picked up Brandon Peterson, Greg Capullo, and they had who else was on the thing? There was somebody else, but it was mainly Greg Capullo and Brandon Peterson.
I think there was one or two at the time.
They got Andy and Adam Kubert in there too.
Well, I don't have any trouble with the Kubert brothers, man. They constantly kill and always have. Especially Andy on his X-Men run. I mean, dude was just phenomenal. Picking up from Jim Lee.
I think
that was a heavy enough task.
I was a little,
huh?
Yeah, I wasn't forgiving to Andy because I wanted Jim Lee. I feel him though. I mean, like that's coming after Jim Lee. That's a
yeah. But I mean, when you're at the time, you're a fan. And I really didn't know how comics were made back then. You know, I mean, babyface that the whole thing, and I didn't quite understand that they were trying to fit in with the same house style. You know, the editorial decisions that were behind everything, which is why everybody was basically a Jim Lee clone at the time on that book for so long. I didn't understand all that. I do now, but I didn't understand it. And so I was like, oh, these people, what are they doing? Just get the guy back, you know?
Well,
Is it money? Pay him whatever he wants.
But see, this is how I knew this was going to happen. Is I saw the ads for Spawn, Youngblood, and Wildcats in Cyberforce, and I saw Jim Lee on Wildcats, and I was like, okay, he's left X-Men. Who's taking over? That my idea was who's taking over X-Men since Jim Lee left.
I didn't have any kind of knowledge to any of that until after the fact.
Yeah, see, I had full knowledge of the whole thing going down, and I was stunned because the main one that I found out about was when McFarlane was leaving Spider-Man.
Well, that I knew about.
That was the one that woke me up. I was like, oh, wait a minute, he's leaving. Who else is going? And then, of course, Rob made the big announcement with Youngblood, and in his agreement with Malibu Comics.
When I saw
Eric
Larson art, it came in after Todd. I was like, oh God, what is this? I didn't even know who the hell Eric Larson was.
Well, see, Eric took over when Todd had gone to do the Spider-Man. He had taken over Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I remember that.
It actually took me a little while, but I actually liked Larson when I mean it was an acquired taste though.
What is that? You guys want me to kick duck bacon? What is that? No.
I liked him doing Amazing Spider-Man. After McFarlane, it took me a minute to acquire that, but I mean, like I enjoyed it. But after when Savage Dragon came out, I was all like, I'm done with Larson.
Well, no, I got quite a few of the Savage Dragon because I did like it when it first started. When he first started, I liked it.
Yeah, when he first started, it was really good.
I really felt sorry for him when his house burned down and all of his original artwork got burned up. Right. I was like, oh my God.
I don't know anything about that.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, this happened like 95, 96. All of his Spider-Man artwork that he had, all of his Savage Dragon artwork, and everything burned up.
For real?
Yeah, he lost it all. I mean, it was devastating. He lost everything, and they even did a crowdfunding for him and everything. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it was one of those moments and stuff.
Oh shit!
But I also remember. This is the one thing that I remember when I got out of the Army. This is 93. This is when Image had just dropped the first books. And I had gotten out of the Army. I had gotten out in August. No, I'll take it back. I got out in June. I got out in June of 93, and at that point they were doing the tours. And
the Image tours, right?
Yeah, they were doing the big Image tours, and I got to meet everybody again. And I had met Jim back in '88 and everything like that. So this is when I started, really bugging him for work and everything like that. And I was getting some test scripts and everything. And the only work I got to do a pinup for Al Simmons. I got to draw. He wanted me to draw a Spawn pinup for him, so I did that, and I got paid for it. So I was happy about that.
Did it get published?
I've never seen it published.
Damn, that would be cool if it did.
I've never seen it published. The one I did was Spawn and Lotus.
Who?
Lotus. Lotus is the character that Todd McFarlane made on video with the crowd.
Nice.
Oh, you got me on that one. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, she's never shown up in the books, but she is a Spawn villain.
Do you got it there with you? I'd like to see that.
I don't have the original one. He's got the original.
Oh shit! Well, that's gotta suck.
He paid for it, so which I can do about it.
Well, the closest I got to working for Jim Lee was never.
I had several
me too.
interactions with Jim back in the early '90s. Never got to work with him, but he helped me especially in '88. He helped me fix my anatomy and everything. He gave me some tips. It was really cool of him to do that.
Well, you got more of a leg up on that one than I do. I'll tell you what. I was gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I had everything ready to go. I had my portfolio ready. I seen the ad in the back of Wildcats #2. It was an open casting call, as they called it. You know.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
This studio, Wildstorm, was literally down the road from where I was stationed at. Okay, I was at Pier 6, San Diego, and it was like a taxi away, right? So I'm doing my laundry. My buddy Jeff, my little compadre, God bless him, down there in Texas somewhere with you, James. You anywhere near Waco? That's where Jeff lives.
No, I'm up in DFW.
You bastard. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, Jeff's like, dude, going down there, I'll go with you. Going down there, go with you. I'm like, dude, we go out to sea tomorrow. The hell am I going to do? We're going to the Gulf, right? 6 month work expat. What am I going to do? Go down there, get a job, and say, see you in 6 months? Jeff's like, yeah, do that. Jeff had way more confidence in me than I ever had in myself. Long story short, I chickened out. But I can't tell you how many times a day I kicked myself in the shins thinking, man, I could have been in the same quote-unquote class with like Humberto Ramos, J. Scott Campbell, Joe Matt. I could have been one of those guys. Maybe.
You want to hear something funny?
This is where everybody in the chat's like, Don's so full of shit. But it's true. It's true.
I'm going to tell you something
I
real
could have
funny.
been a contender.
You know how Brett Booth got found?
I have no idea, but I know he's good enough.
He was working at Lone Star Comics in Fort Worth.
Nice.
What was that? He was working at a comic shop?
Yeah, he worked at Lone Star Comics in Fort Worth.
That's
I
awesome.
believe it. Dude, that's another dude that is seriously leveled up over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I hope this never gets back to him because I'm a huge fan of his, and I doubt very seriously if he's just sitting there just dying to watch me on my YouTube channel. But if you are, no offense, Brett, I hated your early work, dude. I couldn't stand it.
Oh, I loved his early work.
But when I caught wind
I
of him
wasn't a
on
fan of his
Twitter
faces.
a couple of years back, I seen when I first got on Twitter, you know, and I saw his work, dude. He has leveled up so much. I was like, oh, that's not the same dude, right? It is. And I was just, man, the experience, you know, time, the experience, you know, just so many of the artists that I have followed over the years have leveled up, you know? You got your Brett Booth, you got your Brandon Peterson, who don't even look the same anymore, you know?
Yeah.
His work has changed dramatically.
Same with Dan Panosian.
Dan Panosian, I mean, he's like totally different now. Totally different.
His artwork, Greg Capullo's changed.
Greg
They all
Capullo.
found their way of drawing.
Yeah, they got their own styles now. And I love Rob Liefeld to death, but he's never changed.
Dude, I don't worry about
But
love.
to be honest with you, he
I
doesn't
think
need
he
to.
changed. Yeah,
He doesn't really need to.
He's got some changes. But
He has. I will say
at
this.
the
Yeah,
same
he has
time,
done some changes in his artwork.
essentially he's the same.
But yeah,
And one of the guys that changed and really shouldn't have was Jim Lee. I don't see where he's as finally deep. Maybe he burnt out.
that's not what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Scott Williams doesn't ink him all the time.
Well, who does?
He has different people ink him, and he inks himself sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scott Williams. It was a team effort between him and Scott Williams.
Yep.
And if you've noticed, Scott Williams,
I know there was a distinct difference in the way his art looked.
yeah, Scott Williams.
Scott inked him for a long time, and then there was a couple of issues where Art Tieber inked him, and you could see the difference. I mean, it wasn't huge, but there was something different there. And again, this is at a time I'm just still reading comics, just drawing as like a hobby. I didn't really understand the craft or how comics was made yet. And then I was kind of the school of thought from like, what was it? Chasing Amy, Inkers or Tracers, that kind of thing. So Inkers, send all your hate mail to dondrawstuff@gmail.com.
But no, I mean, it actually came out. I mean, Scott has a style on his inking that he cleans up Jim's stuff quite a bit.
Oh yeah, dude, it's amazing. Like you see the pencils, right?
Well, and plus the crowd
Of Jim,
passing
and
too.
then you see the finished version. It's almost night and day.
Yeah, I mean, there's such a difference between him and who's the other guy?
I know Glathian will do over his ink. So I mean over his pencil. Jonathan Glathian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you something else. If you go back and you look at the early Wetworks, Cyberforce, and Wildstorm,
Uh-huh.
they're all inked by Scott.
Damn, Scott was busy back in the day, wasn't he?
Oh, he was,
Mhm.
dude. He said, who was it? He said until Alex Gardner showed up, he was like 4 or 5 pages a day.
Alex Gardner. That's the dude's name I couldn't think of. Yes.
Yeah, when Alex Gardner showed up, that helped him so much.
Didn't
Whatever
he win
happened
the who was it who won that contest that you were talking about, the one from Wildcats #2 with the ad? Wasn't
I
it
don't know.
somebody,
It was an open casting call. They were just
Oh,
they were
I know who it
looking
was.
for
The guy that did Cybernary.
was it?
Manabat?
Because
No, the original guy that did Cybernary, the one that died from cancer.
Manabat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who did it. Yeah,
No shit. Well,
Yeah.
rightly so.
yeah, he's the one.
He
Who won.
was stupidly talented.
Yeah,
oh yeah, he was.
yeah,
I had never seen anything look like
Yeah.
his work before.
yeah. When Cybernary came
He
out,
died?
that dark,
When did he die?
that dark style.
Mhm.
Oh, he died like early '90s.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know anything.
Yeah, he was. It was like they did like issue 2 of Cybernary, and then all of a sudden issue 3 came out. It was somebody completely different because he had gotten so sick, and then he was. I want to say he died like in '95.
Well, was that on the back of Deathblow or what was that?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was that?
Deathblow.
Yeah, Deathblow. Yeah.
That
All right.
sucks.
Yeah, and he passed. He
Just
passed
getting
away.
started.
Yeah, he passed away.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I remember when he passed away. I remember when Scott Clark had his motorcycle wreck and passed
Oh
away.
yeah, I remember hearing about Scott Clark.
And then Stephen Hughes passing away.
Yeah,
And then, of course, when Michael passed away.
that was
Yeah.
hard. And then Mike Waringo, we lost him not
You know,
too soon after.
I gotta say, at least Michael, he kind of seems like, he at least got something. He got somewhere, with his.
Michael! The minute Michael hit, he was a superstar. The minute
Yeah.
he hit, he was a
Yeah,
superstar.
that's true.
Mhm.
I mean, the minute he hit, he was a superstar.
Can you imagine if he was still cranking out art today? How huge and rich he would be right now.
Yeah, I wonder.
I remember. But yeah, I mean, Michael had a heart of gold, dude. He was such a nice guy.
I guarantee told you we would have all kind of Aspen stuff out there right now. Maybe better Witchblade properties if he just stuck around.
No, well, that falling out between him and Mark, that basically that ended anything with Witchblade.
What happened there?
That was wasn't that because Rob was trying to get him?
No. So originally, Rob was trying to get Michael.
Yeah, that's what I.
And Michael ended up going with Mark. I don't remember exactly why he went with Mark, but he did. And the thing was when he started creating Phantom, that was when Mark and him had the falling out because Mark was still in the mindset of Marvel, just like Liefeld was with Danny Mickey on Warcry.
Danny Mickey, there's another one.
Because Danny Mickey had created Warcry, and Rob was like, "Well, you made it inside the studio for one of our books. It belongs to the studio, not you." And that's when Danny jumped and went to work with Todd on Spawn.
How do you get all this insider information, dude?
What?
How do you get all this insider information?
I was good friends with Jaime Mendoza.
Wow. There's another name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, Jaime Mendoza and I were good friends.
You keep up with him? How's he doing?
I have not talked to him in years. And I'll tell you how I started. I started with Kelsey Shannon.
Yeah, you told me that.
Kelsey Shannon and I started together, and I still have like 1 or 2 pages he inked for me. But we were on the independent circuit for a while, and he got picked up and went to work for the Ortiz brothers with Arachnus, and I ended up going to Japan.
Kelsey did Arachnis?
Book 2.
God, I guess I'm not a real comic book fan, am I? I don't know shit.
And then Jaime was down with Rob, and then Jaime left and went to work for DC.
Huh. Yeah, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I'm Mendoza.
Well, see, Jaime married a girl named Jenny, and Jenny's brother and cousin were good friends of mine.
I think the closest friend I ever had in the comic book industry, I can't think of the dude's name, but he used to draw Razor. You guys ever hear of Razor back in the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Richard somebody. Damn it. Don, you're terrible at names. I know
That close
Everett
to friend.
Hartsoe owns the character, but I can't think of dude's name because he was like, you got to understand, I live in Virginia in the country. There's not a lot of, shit that happens down here. So comic bookly speaking, I guess you could say. So he was like sort of like a comic book celebrity in these circles. And, my friend Roy Haley, who disappeared, I don't know whatever happened to him. He was friends with dude. And he was constantly telling him about me. And one day I met him up at Walmart. Well, I was working at Walmart at the time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was a proud Walmart associate. And
I think at one point everybody worked at Walmart.
or McDonald's, yeah. And I showed him my stuff, and he was like, yeah, good practice. Keep going, do all this. And I know he used to work up, but he was still he did his own thing for a little while, trying to get into the indie set. Jesus, I can't think of his name. Richard.
I'll tell you the biggest, you could say,
I feel so bad, dude. I feel so bad.
But the biggest mentor for me was Kerry Gamble.
Sadly, I don't think I've heard of that individual.
He drew Superman back in the 90s.
Nice.
See, I'm revealing all my ignorance tonight.
Well, if you ever got the issue where Superman revealed himself to Lois when she finally pulled the glasses off, and she got the
I
big.
probably did, but honestly,
Yeah, he did that. He drew that whole series.
I've always been more of a Marvel head than a DC head.
But yeah, he lives over in Fort Worth. I mean, he's fantastic. I've got a lot of his stuff.
Shit, man. Even when I was stationed in San Diego, I didn't. I was only getting back into comics. I didn't really, like hang on to. Again, I was on the ship 24 hours a day, pretty much. I went to SDCC twice, and that was before it got big.
That's more than me.
I haven't been to SDCC in probably about 20 years.
Well, I've seen. Believe me, it's way different, man. When I went,
I heard last year
you could actually get in the door without traipsing over anybody, and it was like maybe 25, 30, maybe $40 for a 3-day ticket, for like over the weekend. And the hotels weren't all slam packed and everything. You couldn't do that now.
But I did hear that it's more going back to the comic book ways and the movie theater.
Yeah, it should. That's what it's there for.
And there's been a lot of pushback against Fan Expo.
I've never been to a Fan Expo.
Yeah, Fan Expo was overrated. But Fan Expo basically tried to take over back in the 90s, they had a comic book convention circuit. So you did San Diego, then you did Dallas, then you did Chicago, then you did Florida, and then you did New York. And that was the run they would do.
Okay.
And so when Fan Expo came in, because Dallas went under and then Chicago went under, Fan Expo took them over. This company called Fan Expo took them over, and they tried to make.
Was that before Wizard World took everything over?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll tell you about Wizard World was first.
Oh, okay.
And Wizard World was a complete cluster disaster.
Yeah, I've read that in many, many circles.
And then you have but when Fan Expo took everything over, they just basically ran it like a business, and it just really got way out of hand. Because now, if you want, like, say, if you're an independent, you want a table at Fan Expo,
yeah,
it's $500.
Get out the front door.
No, I'm serious.
And that was back in the 90s?
No, that's now.
Oh, now. Okay, yeah. I don't get a chance to go to cons, so. Oh, look at that. We got a visitor. Hello, Mr. Longbox. How are you today?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, John.
Good to have you on, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I was out to dinner with my friends, and we just got home. We were just sitting around in the restaurant talking and BSing. It's nice to get out once in a while.
I'd like
What's
to pause
what's
for
that
a
like?
second. Hold on, let me pause. I gotta, Mr. Longbox. I love your show.
Oh, thank you. I love ducks and I love bacon, so it all works out. And James, how you doing? I just saw James last night.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, thank you for helping with Wolf and Batsy last night.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a heart of gold that you got there, man. Thank you so much for helping him with that.
Yeah, I want to get him to 10,000.
Hey, you guys take it easy. My mom's diabetic. She's in the next room. I don't need to go into a sugar coma.
Okay,
All this friggin' sweet love going on in the air.
dude, I'm serious.
It's
man.
okay. I'll balance it out. We all hate Don, so they.
Thank you.
There we
That's
go.
all I want. A little bit of hatred in the air. Keep it even, man.
Hey, Haldir, how you doing? Hey, Dale, I'm
This
looking
is
at
Trash Cast.
how is this restream? Because
I'm digging it, dude. I'm digging it.
Not so bad. Not too bad. I'm actually liking it too.
Look, $19 a month on this plan right here. Now, I can only stream at 720p right now, okay? But I can get 10 guests on as opposed to 7 with Streamlabs. And StreamYard, as we all know, their price got completely retarded.
yeah,
So, and it's browser based. It's not real complicated, convoluted. It's a lot like StreamYard. There's some minor differences. Basically, UI is different, but it's taken me a little while to figure some things out. Like earlier, I cut myself off the stream and come back. But I like it. It's not too bad. I would suggest you give it a try. They got the free tier, and then they got like the next one up is 19, then the next one up's 30 something. Then they got like the Ultra Pro, which is like
I think with StreamYard, I think I paid a full year at once because I don't like monthly billing.
yeah.
So I think I'm good for a little while. So when I notice, I'll see if I'm subscribed to it or not. But when it comes to another payment, I think that's when I'll jump.
Yeah.
But I got to check that out. So what's the topic? What are we talking about? Is everybody drawing but me?
I'm trying to draw. My hand isn't working very well for some reason. Basically, we're just sitting around bullshitting. We were
What are we
talking
talking about, John?
90s X-Men, Jim Lee, comic book conventions back in the 90s.
Yeah. We were trashing you earlier, but we had to stop.
All right, that's fine.
We were
I'm
talking
trying
about
to see if I could. I can't say anything in the chat.
how bad that your long.
Okay, I got one for you, John.
Sure.
Out of everybody that you've ever gone for an autograph to, who is the one that you really wanted the most?
I'm not an autograph chaser.
Man after my own heart.
I don't really. It's funny because I back a lot of comics, and I never get the autograph tier. I don't care about autographs, but I do say I got a John Byrne autograph on a Fantastic Four comic, but I didn't get that. My girlfriend at the time in high school, I don't know how she did it, but she went and got John Byrne's autograph on a comic, so that meant a lot because she did a lot of work. That I have a John Byrne autograph that I got on a comic. I met him when I was 14. But I think the one that meant the most was George Perez because he was just such a sweetheart.
Oh God, yes, George.
Oh, dude, George Perez. Oh man, he was so nice.
I got a Bill Willingham autograph, and he was really nice. I was a little kid. He was literally drawing the Elementals, and I just sat and started talking to him. I'll take it. And he was like, I don't know if I bothered him but I just sat at the table with him. I was just a little kid,
Didn't he do Fables too?
Yeah, he did Fables, So I've been trying to get him to come on my channel. I always wanted to ask him if he remembers that. He was, it was at Rockwell Center, a small little comic. Like I must have been one of the first people to like, hey Bill, I love your comic,
All right, well let me ask you a question. What do you think about artists charging for their signatures? Autographs.
It's funny because people were asking me would you charge? How much would I said? I'm not gonna. If you want me to sign the freaking comic book, I'll sign the comic book.
Yeah.
I understand somebody like Jim Lee or Rob Light, because you're just gonna take that comic, put it on eBay.
Yeah. To a point. Yeah.
You're gonna sell $100. So you're gonna profit. So why not Jim Lee? Why not? Why not Rob Liefeld? Why not? Whatever the actor's name is or whatever. So I got no problem.
I'll tell you, the first person I remember asking for payment
Who?
when I got a book signed was Adam West.
Oh yeah, well that was his whole business. Lou Ferrigno, you couldn't even talk to him unless you picked up money. My buddy Mike went and he was like, "Oh, Lou Ferrigno," and Lou Ferrigno, it was just like he wouldn't even make eye contact with you. He would hold up his hand. You put money in his hand. He would look at you like just enough time for you to take a picture. You would autograph.
Damn.
That was how he made his money.
Well, yeah. Okay.
But I remember it was Adam West and Julie Newmar had come to a show,
I love Julie.
and it was like the first time Julie Newmar had done a show. She was the way they were talking. She was worried that nobody would remember her.
How could you forget Julie?
No. You don't understand. This is Julie Newmar's thinking because it had been so
okay.
long.
She's been away
It's
for
like one of her first conventions she's ever went to, and the room was packed. I mean, it was packed when she came out. And you have to understand something. Even at her age back then, this is the 90s. She still looks amazing today.
right.
But she looks unbelievable.
Yep.
And tall. Ooh, she's tall.
Yeah, she's like 6'something. Yeah.
She's like 6'2". I mean, she is tall, but man, she was beautiful. And she wore this unbelievably beautiful dress and like that. And the line, the wait line for her autograph it had gotten to like an hour and a half. If you were just getting in line. And the thing was, when you went into the room, they gave you a number. And that was your number in line. But anybody that showed up later, and she sat there and she autographed for everybody. She was having a blast. I thought for a minute she was going to cry because she didn't realize how popular she was.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, she had a handicapped son, I think mentally handicapped.
Yeah, he had muscular MS.
Yeah, so she quit Hollywood. I think her husband left her, or the father. I don't know if they were married.
I think he passed away.
Oh, and she just took care of the kid.
Yeah.
And then
But
I think that kid finally passed, and she went back into the public eye, and
Rick Moranis did that too when his wife died.
yeah,
Quit Hollywood
he
to
stayed home to take care of the kid.
Yeah.
But Rick Moranis, he took a percentage of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh,
I think he did that even before Jack Nicholson, because Jack Nicholson got a percentage of Batman rather than.
Oh my God! That deal that Jack Nicholson got for Batman is probably the greatest contract in the history of Hollywood.
And so the people who with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids are like, yeah, you got 10% of this movie, and that movie turned out to be a big. I think he made upwards of $40 million. We're talking in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And he didn't need to work. And then this poor guy, his kids are grown. He's a little lonely. People invite him back into Hollywood. He's going to talk. He's walking down the street in Manhattan, and a random guy punches him in the face.
What?
He's like, I'm going to go back in the spotlight. I think he was going to like one of his first interviews, and he was like one of those people that got randomly sucker punched.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? I remember hearing about that now.
The other thing is when it comes to him, because he basically walked away from everything.
Yeah, to take care of his kids. His wife was sick. He took care of his 2 sons, and then by the time the kids could take care, he's like, I don't miss it. He started making music. He released records. Listen. If a construction worker gets $40 million and doesn't work anymore, we all go, man, this guy's got the life of Riley. But when an actor stops working, we all think there's something wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you remember what's his name? The guy from 3 Men and a Lady? We all remember Ted Danson.
Tom Selleck?
Well, yeah, we all remember Tom Selleck. We all remember
Gutenberg?
the third one. Gutenberg stopped working too.
Yeah, Gutenberg. Yeah, I remember when Gutenberg.
I thought that was just because he got unpopular though.
Oh, I don't see other. Amy, what was her name back in the 80s? She did a lot of the cute movies.
Amy Dolenz?
I can't remember her name, but she just up and quit too.
Well, what's his name? Steve Gutenberg. He I forget what talk show he was on, and the guy basically said to him, "It's like, what's wrong, man? You haven't worked in a while." And he goes, "What's wrong?" He's like, I got $16 million in the bank. I don't have to work."
Yeah.
And he was the one that said that. He goes, "How come?" He goes, "What's so weird?" And he literally said, "When a construction worker has millions in the bank, it doesn't work. We all congratulate him. But an actor," he goes, "I come out once in a while. I play music. I do local theater." He goes, "I'm not washed up because I'm living a life where I do whatever I want." And I was like, "Yeah, that's great."
I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
The truth is, he probably
like
can't work, but the guy got money in the bank.
if I became a multi-millionaire, and it's going to happen one day, I don't know. I think I'd still draw comics because I love it so much.
Yeah,
Do you know that Frank Miller is still getting paid for the Dark Knight
good.
book?
I don't doubt it at all.
No,
I do not doubt that.
I'll
at
tell you
all.
why. Because they never went to a second printing. They continually print the book, and it continually is a first printing.
Okay.
There's no second printing of it. So if you bought, and I'll explain.
How does that work?
I'll explain as a novelist. I'll explain. So when you do a novel, and you send it to the printer, and you do your orders, as long as it's in the catalog, you can continually order the book, and they will continually print the book.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is, unless you go in and actually put a different cover on it or get a different ISP for it or something like that, it never goes out of print.
Oh, okay.
So like my novels, the Steins, my novels are printed worldwide. So the company that I deal with my printing of my novels is called Ingram Spark. They are the largest printer of novels in the world. They print books out of New York. They print books out of California. They print books out of Australia, Europe, all over the world. So they have a different printer that prints the books in the region. So say like you're in Europe and you order my books, they don't get the books printed in New York. They get the books printed in England.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same book, but just in a different printing house.
Okay.
So everything is still first printing.
Well, that's pretty clever.
It's the same thing with comic books. If I'm printing a comic book and say I go in, like when Robert said he goes to second printing, this is how they do this. They will do a pre-order, and they'll go, okay, we're going to pre-order. We have 100,000 copies pre-ordered. We're going to order 10,000 more on top of that, just in case we have damaged books, whatnot, and they'll order that number for printing. At that point, they will order. That's the maximum printing they want. So once all those books are gone and there's still a demand, they will do a change of something on the cover with the book. So like an X-Men 275, you have the one with the red X-Men logo, and you have the one with the gold X-Men logo for the different printing run.
Yeah.
And they'll send the gold in for the quote-unquote second printing. But it's all a manipulation of it.
Okay.
See, I didn't understand that until I got in as a author of a book, and they were explaining to me that there's not really a difference between a first and second printing, except what's inside the cover, or if you've made some kind of change to it. Then it has to you have to pay for a different ISBN number, and it becomes a different printing number of the book.
Well, hell, I didn't even know anything about printings and stuff like that till much later on. I remember buying comics and someone was like, "Did you get the first or second or third printing of that?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't know anything about it. And then it was like, "Well, you got to look on the inside and the little legalese and see if it says first or second printing." And it changes with the value of the comic and all that. I've never been a collector per se. I don't believe in backboarding my comics.
What are you, barbarian?
I am I'm a
barbarian. You keep your comics raw.
Unsheathed, unprotected, barebacked, and everything. Just laying around, collecting dust, dog-eared.
I have reader copies, and then I have the books, in the backing boards and everything in the boxes.
I'm a bad man. I can't help it.
So there's several books that I have that are reader copies. Wildcats #1, it's a reader copy. Wildcats #6, I have a reader copy.
See, I tried to do that. I was going to do that back in the day, and it just, #1, it got too expensive. And #2, I've never had, all right, I lived on a ship for a long time. I didn't have a lot of room for storage, right? So, John, you sharing something? What are you showing? What are you doing?
This is
Oh, you know what?
this
You
is
know
what
what?
you
You
do.
and your friggin' long boxes. You know what?
You alphabetize them, you bag and board them, and you put them in a room. You put an air. Yeah,
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, that looks like my cousin back in the 80s. My cousin's basement looked like that back in the 80s. Okay.
You and your long box. You and your long
My
box.
cousins. So my cousins were avid comic book collectors. I mean, they really went on it, but their dad had the money for it, and they would get. I mean, they'd spend $1,000 a month on comic books back in the 80s. I mean, back in the 80s. I mean, they were true. John, you would be like, oh my God, I've gone to heaven.
Dude,
So,
I used to blow $300-400 a month on comics when I was a single guy in the service. All right, this was in the '90s before they were like $5 a pop.
yeah, I didn't spend that much. Now I bought some good. I had good books, but I remember the first New York Big Apple con I ever went to. This is where I met Jim Lee and Neil Adams. All I had was Jim Lee's Alpha Flights. That's all I had. I had bought those because I wanted to learn how to draw people. And my cousins gave me the Batman's Neil Adams drew with the son of the story of the Son of Demon, where Ra's al Ghul comes in and Talia comes in. Remember that one, John?
I'm sure John does. I don't.
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
So they had like 5 copies of each one of those. So they gave me a set because we were going to go see Neil Adams. So I had come up there with my general drafting because I had one state general drafting with my aircraft designs. So if you have never been to a Neil Adams portfolio review, pray to God every day that you didn't go.
I have not, but I've heard horror stories from other.
Oh, I mean, he was brutal.
Like, dude does not hold back.
He doesn't hold back.
Yeah.
And so I had my portfolio with me because my cousins had brought it in there because I had my little sketches so I could get with Jim Lee about, and this is when Jim Lee wasn't famous. Not a whole lot of people knew him and all this stuff. So Neil Adams sees my portfolio and he goes, "You're going to show me your portfolio?" I said, "No, sir." He's like, "No, come on, I want to see it." So I open it up and all he sees is my drawings I did for state. I did an F-15 schematic with the engines breakdown. I did an A-10 schematic with breakdowns and everything like that. He doesn't say a word. And he signs the books and he looks at me and he goes, "And you want to draw comic books?" I said, "No, I want to work for Skunk Works." And all he did was pack it up and hand it to me. And, and this is what he said. He said, "Good luck." That's all he said to me.
That was it?
That was it. I turned around and everybody's looking at me like, "Who the hell are you?" Because he had been brutalizing everybody. And then I got to go down. Jim was like around the corner and around the side, and he was sitting there, and there was like 5 or 6 people. And I got to meet him, and I'm like 17 years old. I'm fixing to go to the Army, and I'm asking, what am I doing wrong with people? Because I showed him my schematics and stuff like that, which he liked. And so he started doing these little sketches, and I've still got them someplace around here because I look at them every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But these, basically, it was like boxes, and at the hips were more like a oval heart shape, and the chest was more this, and how the spine worked and like that. And there's like 5 or 6 little things. He went over it with me for about 20 minutes, and I've never forgotten him for that. And every time I saw him back in the 90s, I always brought that up that we met back then, and he would always look at my stuff. And like I said, I got 3 tryouts with him, and I got 4 tryouts with Mark, and I got 2 tryouts with Rob, but I never got picked up.
It's weird. Every time I would see one of the guys like that, and I would say, "Do you remember?" They always said security right after. And my visits were very short-lived. I mean, it's not my fault that the medication wore off. I was just trying to live it.
But in truth, the one that really helped me the most was Kerry Gamble. And I know John knows who Kerry Gamble is.
Who?
Kerry Gamble, Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Fort Worth. So I'd see him like every 2 months. And back once I had gotten out of the military, I saw him every 2 months. And he would be like, you're getting here, but you need to fix this, and you need to fix this. And you need to work on this perspective. You need to work on this lighting. So it'd be like something different every time I saw him. But he was always positive about, you're getting there. You're getting there. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying, man? You're getting there. You know,
He was great, dude. He was fantastic.
I got advice from Mark Bagley one time.
How was
How'd
that?
that go?
He told me I suck. 90. Yeah, he just told me to keep going. It was right 94. Yeah, it was. I think it was 1994. He still had his long hair. I rocked on over there. I had drawn some. I was still copying Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane at the time, and I had just seen Ralph Macchio like like a day or two before that, and just showed him the stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, this, that, and the third. You got a long ways to go, kid. Get out of my face. Get out of here. I'm the master. What are you doing? Shut up. In a few years, I'll be multi-millionaire drawing Ultimate Spider-Man. What are you going to do, punk? You're nobody. Get out of here." Nah, he didn't say it. Mark was really nice. He took the time. He was, leafing through the stuff, telling me my strengths and weaknesses, more weaknesses than strengths. Because, let me see, in the 90s, I was barely in my 20s. Thought I knew it all. Thought I could draw. Couldn't draw for crap. Too busy copying everybody. If I wasn't copying Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man poses and trying to learn anatomy from that, like, it would just irritate me. I would look at like how they did the blacks and the inks and stuff. How the hell do they know to do that? I'm like, how do they know that part is like, that's how that has to be? And it would just make me complete. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, that would make me crazy. And it was, just years and years of keeping on drawing and looking how other guys did it and doing it for myself. You start to figure it out on your own. There really is no, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. I think you just have to do it,
Yeah, definitely.
Same thing with writing. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to write.
Well,
you just have to, there's definitely a wrong way to write. Let me go back. You can F up some writing. You just have to keep at it,
I will say this about writing, and this is where everybody messes up. Anybody can write. Can you tell a story and a good one that keeps somebody engaged with your story? That's the key.
Well, Jack and Jill went up the hill.
Yeah, but
Each with $1.25.
And that was the one advice that I was given, and I was given an example of the same story told by two different aspects, and the story, one of it's just boring as hell, the other one's exciting as hell, and that resonated with me to say, if you're going to write a story, make sure it's entertaining enough that people want to turn the page.
But also,
I was told, I remember writing stories in college and giving them to friends and stuff, and they were like, "I wouldn't pay for this. Like you want to get a job as a writer? Like, make me want to pay for it." And I always think of that. Like, would somebody pay to read this? Somebody pay
but writing comics is way different than anything else because
there's a big difference between comics and novels. I mean, there's a major difference. Because in comics, your writing is to give a outline to the artist to draw.
Basically you're given direction.
Okay.
Just give an artistic
The novel is you're having to tell everything that's going on by words.
You got to be super descriptive. Sometimes people can be over descriptive. Like when my dad and my mother and I, we wrote this book years ago. I'm still going through the final edit, called The Answer. It's about why we never really went back to the moon after 1972. Come to bookstores near you. I always had a tendency to go over detailed. Like I would do all this research into like what the Apollo command module instrument panel would look like. And then I felt like I had to describe every little way the nooks and crannies of it looked. And I would always write. I was working in Winn-Dixie as a grocery store clerk at the time overnight. Dad used to mandate I'd have to write 5 pages a day, and this is long form writing. I didn't have a typewriter. I didn't have word processors before. I didn't have a laptop back then. Okay, this is like early 2000, and I would write this stuff out long form on notebook paper, front and back, and I would hand it to him. And you always want to please your father, so you wait and they anxiously hear what he's got to say. So I spent all these hours writing this crap up, and he's like, "I don't care about what the instrument panel looks like, son. tell me, well, the story did not move forward at all. All right. He says, I just need to know that the instrument panel's there. That's fine. But I don't need to know like the amperage, what's going on with all that. And stop.
Mhm.
Stop. And then there was one instance where I was trying to do a little bit too much comic booky stuff, where I had the guy, a Russian general, hit one of the guys and knocked him over the top of a car. He's like, "What the hell are you doing? This is not a comic book. This is bullshit. Go back, rewrite all this." God bless him. This is my dad right here. This picture of him right here. God rest his soul. Nancy took him from Memphis in 08. Let me take it off the wall so you guys can see it. There you go. Jim Edwards right there. Greatest human being who ever lived, aside from myself, of course. Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, comic book writing is definitely so much different than any other kind of writing, and that's something you have to learn by doing. I think pretty much all of it.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, you got to learn by doing.
I don't know about you, but I don't learn anything the easy way.
No, I never have either, dude. I usually have to screw something up about 3 or 4 times before I get it down.
Yeah, I was talking with my friend. My friend, we went out to dinner. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, and he was asking about the comic book, and I was like, "Yeah, I paid for printing, and you'll get your comic soon and everything." And he was like, "What's your end goal?" And he started asking me like, because he's a finance guy,
Make a comic book, dude.
I started talking, and he was like, but he made me think like more about money, and I had to like, oh, I'm getting better. Next issue, I got the cost down. I'm doing this, but it was just, it was good to get it, I had to justify this. So his take was like, okay, so this is just like a hobby. He's like, you kind of broke even, right? I was like, yeah. He goes, well, that's good because most hobbies don't break even.
That's
So
that is correct. That is correct.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to make my comics so that it does so well that I could quit my job and just make comics. But
And God knows, dude, as an independent creator, if you break even making a comic book, you're already 5 steps ahead of everybody else.
yeah, well, I didn't quite break even, but I didn't want to get lectured by Paul.
Well, this is. I'll say this. Until I started writing, I never wanted to be a writer, ever. I always wanted to be the artist. I always wanted to be the comic book artist. I always wanted to be.
I'm the exact opposite.
Hold on.
I want to be the writer. I don't want to be the artist.
So, back in 2010, I broke my hand. I mean, I really broke my hand. I didn't break my fingers. I actually broke the bones in my hand.
How'd
How
you
do
do
you
that?
do that?
It's a long story.
Well,
But
you're on a live stream. What else are you going to talk about?
well, let's put it this way. Well, I had something heavy roll over on it and crush it.
Admit it. You were working yourself a little too hard one day.
No,
You know what I'm talking about.
no. So, I had to have surgery on my hand.
Little self-nurturing.
So I had lost nerve. I had nerve damage in my hand. It made my hand shake a lot.
Ooh.
So I couldn't draw anymore. And so I just put everything away. And I put everything away.
Mhm.
So 2018, my mother passed away.
I'm sorry.
And so I was having real bad depression. And my doctor suggested I start writing stuff. And so,
To help therapeutically, yeah.
yeah, that's what.
I get that.
And so out of that, my novels of the Steins came out. And so I was writing it, and I showed it to a couple of friends, and they were like, holy shit, this is good. That was actually what they said. So I had some friends that I showed it to, and then, of course, we sent it off to 5 different publishers. All the publishers wanted it. And this is when I learned how conniving and pieces of shit the publishers are. So luckily I had already copyrighted everything, and I had a business attorney already with me.
Mhm.
And we went through all
My
the
wife is calling me. I gotta go. I gotta see what she's calling me for.
okay.
Thanks for popping in, dude.
All right.
And so I got I got a good contract with Pimento Publishing out of Carolina, and the books were published. The first book went out 2020,
Uh-huh.
And as it was going out, Ryan Wynn and I met up, and he was like, "Dude, try to draw something. Just try." And so I was on one of his streams, and so I started. I tried to draw, and I noticed that my hand was not shaking.
Awesome.
And I was sitting there going like, maybe I can do something. So I started trying back in my exercises on drawing people and everything like that, and it all fell back into place. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I can do comics again.
That's good.
And then I learned about my books. My books were selling. My first book, 35,000 copies. My second book, third book, all the books came out. I mean, I've sold almost 100,000 copies in books.
Right.
Here, I mean, I made quite a bit of money on those books, and I was like, okay, I can do this graphic novel this time as a test run to see what I can do, and I was pretty pleased with it. I mean, I'm getting better as I draw, and I'm getting better back into where I was, but I'm more now of a writer because of what happened than I am the artist, but I can still draw. But writing wise, I learned how to write. I learned how to engage the reader. I learned how to give the hook. If you don't know what a hook is, when you write a novel, within the first 3 pages, you've got to give them something that hooks them to want to read the rest of the book. It's that, oh my God moment.
Yeah.
If you can do that, you got them all the way through the book. And I learned that there's a whole bunch of stuff that I learned from other things. And I found out that the community of authors is a whole lot different than the community of the comic book business.
Okay, I can see that.
The authors are willing to sit there and talk to you about how to improve your skills in your book. They don't see you as a threat. They don't see you as somebody that can take business from them.
That ain't the way it is in the comic book circle, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a completely different ballgame in the comic book business.
That's right.
But in
Something like you done thinking.
So in
What's
the
that?
office,
Yeah, you a bad man.
in
Threat you.
in doing all of this, I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know about, especially when it comes to printing and publishing.
I
So
know Jack,
this is the biggest one.
nothing about any of that, dude. I got a long way to go learning it.
So this is the biggest one that's going to shock you. The publisher does not print the books.
That doesn't shock me. I already knew that.
The publisher is the one that cleans up your book,
Yeah, I knew that too.
promotes your book.
Yeah,
And
markets it, they sell it, distribution. Well, no, not distribution. I think doesn't the printer handle distribution?
The printer, this is what the printer does. So I use a company called Ingham Spark. That's the printing company that I work with.
Are you self-publishing or do you get an agent and all that?
I don't have an agent, but I do have a contract with a publisher.
Okay.
And really, you don't need an agent.
That's what I've heard recently. Yeah.
You really don't need an agent. But the thing that is about mine is kind of a hybrid. So I'll put some money up front, like about $1,500 up front,
Mm-hmm.
and then the company will take it, clean it all up.
Pay to have your book published?
No. It's a hybrid system. This way, I get professional help on the book.
So you just don't submit the manuscript and somebody's like,
No,
this is
no,
really
no.
good. Let's go nationwide with it and all that.
No. Because see, I'm going to explain the difference in publishing. So you get a contract with, say, Penguin House. They're going to pick up your book.
Okay.
They're going to give you an advancement of $25,000. They're
Okay.
going to take your book. They're going to clean it up. They're going to give you an advertising group. They're going to give you all these people to help you promote your book and everything like that. Bottom line is you're going to make 25 cents a book.
That's it.
That's it, because they're taking everything else to pay for all these people that are helping promote your book.
Now, is it true if you don't sell enough books to cover the advance, you got to pay that money back?
No.
No?
You always keep the advance, but if you don't make more than the advance, you don't get anything. You don't get any more money.
Right.
Case in point, remember Bernie Sanders talking about, I made $1 million on publishing a book.
I can't.
He only got one book because his book didn't sell.
Okay.
He got paid $1 million in advance to do a book. It didn't sell, so he didn't get another book deal, and he didn't get any more money.
But still, dude walked out with $1 million, man. Come on,
Yeah.
that's a win.
But
That's
that's
a
what I'm
W on my board.
But that's what I'm saying, is that's how the publisher works.
Shit, pay me $1 million. I'll
Now,
do it right now.
The hybrid deal, which is what I'm doing, is where I put some money in on the cost of production,
I don't know.
and I get a bigger return. So, like in my books, so I put up
Well, I mean, if
1,500.
it's stipulating the contract that way, yeah, I guess so. But
So I put up around $1,500 for my book. What they did was they took it. They got they paid for the ISBNs. They did full editing. They did full setups for both hardback, paperback, and all digital aspects.
Huh.
So they did all that work for me.
why don't they have anything like that for comic book publishing?
Well, hold on. So at that point, then they send it to Ingram Spark. Now, Ingram Spark is the printer. So Ingram Spark gets my book. They categorize it in horror. They put it in what's known as the catalog. Now, because it's done by a printer, by a publisher like Clemens, then it gets put further up on the list than if it was self-published, because they're actually paying for it to be moved up on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets up on that list, and it sells phenomenal. So they start printing the books. They go through the cost, everything like that, and they break down the price. So, like when you see a cover price of a book, say it says the cover price is $24.95, but we're selling it for $19.95.
Okay.
Okay, the $24.95 is the profit margin for the store to make money. There is a printing cost for paperback and hardback, which is different,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a price that I get on top of that, and then there's a margin for the retailer. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if I want books, I can order it directly from the printer at the printing cost with no overhead.
Okay.
But when somebody orders the books, they pay the price that is the wholesale price with my part added into it.
Okay.
So that and I'll tell you exactly how much money I make per book. So for digital, paperback, and hardback, I make $5 a book.
Nice.
That's not
Okay.
bad.
I've sold 85,000 copies.
Nice.
If you want to do the math, that's almost $500,000.
Well, then we need to rediscuss my coloring rates.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, wait till you see the taxes I got to pay.
Oh no, I understand taxes.
Yeah. The taxes suck. So this is over. We're going in 2025, so this is almost going into 4 years, almost 5 years of production. So I've made that much money in 5 years. So you got to break it down. I've made $25,000-$30,000 a year off the books,
Well, I can't argue with that.
which I am very, very happy with. That's what I get to take home and stuff like that. Plus, I have my day job, so it helps. It helps my retirement fund. It helps pay bills. It helps me get everything what I need fixed.
Like, I'm great if you got that money to put up front, bro. But shit, I'm strapped.
But like I'm fixing to have my roof replaced.
Everything. Don't even talk to me about roofs, bro. You know what I got going on.
Yeah, mine's $20,000.
Yeah, that's what mine's going to run too. But I mean, it's like a whole repair.
Oh no, mine's
talk to local people. They got to come out and do shit. I mean,
yeah,
I'm looking at like I'm trying to talk to like state programs where they help with veterans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I gotta come up with paperwork telling them that I'm basically broke as shit and I'm some poor old dilapidated old man, can't take care of himself, that kind of stuff. Got to make them feel sorry for me so they come out and help me.
No, I know.
The comic books ain't paying the bills, not like that. Pretty much everything I make for commissions, comics, and that goes on the food table or pays regular bills.
Right, I understand.
Because the veterans don't pay me squat. You know?
I'm going to tell you straight up, this bullshit that I'm hearing, and everybody needs to understand this. I'm saying this for politicians. There is nobody, I don't give a shit what party they are, that really gives a shit about veterans.
No, they don't.
I mean, they don't. They'll use us for their political ad, and then they dump us.
Mm.
And that's the truth. I've seen both parties do it, and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Now, don't get me wrong. The Democratic Party is a lot shittier, but
I think the last president we had in my lifetime that gave two shits about a veteran was Ronald Reagan.
That was
And
before,
I
that
still
was before, that was
contend
before I went in. So
my opinion, all right, which means the world to everybody, which is why everybody's watching right now. Ronald Reagan was the best president ever, as far as I'm concerned. So again, hate mail, dondrawstuff@gmail.com. Send it there. It will go in the spam folder. I'll never see it, but you can send it there.
but yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've been around. And everybody's like talking about. So the one that always gets me is when they talk about Carter, and I'm like, were you around when Carter was president?
I was a
No.
kid. I remember. I
I mean,
I
I'm
told my
sitting there
dad,
going like,
it seems like this guy always goes on trips. He doesn't really does anything.
no, the thing was with Carter. Carter was a terrible president. He really was. He was a terrible president. But once he got out of being president, he turned into this fantastic, human being. And I'm like, why didn't you do this shit when you were president?
Nah, all right. We don't want to talk politics here, man. Come on.
But
Yeah, because we all know the best president ever was Bill Pullman.
Yeah. With 4th of July. Yeah, gotcha. Dude, have you drawn anything? You want to show anything off? Because I'm running a little bit over. I got to wrap this up.
Okay, yeah, here, hold on. See if we can see this.
Oh,
Rogue Savage.
yeah.
Savage Rogue.
very nice.
Sexy baby. Got them childbearing hips on the girl.
Woo.
Ooh, I'm about to go up in there and make a name for myself.
Awesome.
James, you want me to make you big and not in a sexual way?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll move my camera so you can see it. So
Now, explain to
Nice.
the viewers, all 10 million of them, what this is.
this is the cover to my new novel.
Which
So-
is called
The working title right now is Game Developer Trapped in Another World.
the fuck kind of name is that, dude? Shorten it up.
Yeah, right. But what it is, it's
Time for
about-
it. Dude, if you can't sum that up in a Google search, no one's gonna buy it.
no, it'll sell. Don't worry.
What are you
I've
doing?
seen before.
Come on.
So, but the guy in the background, this guy here is but this guy here is the main bad guy for book one. He's known as the Horned Witch King. This is the main character, and she is basically the one that designed this unbelievable game. It's complete virtual reality. She had just launched the new patch, and she went out because she was going to go on vacation. It's raining. She went and got like bentos, and she gets hit by a truck, and it gets killed. And she wakes up in a world that is based on the game.
In a world.
Yeah, it's basically an isekai. It's my version of an isekai. Because in most isekai, it's always the player or somebody like that. And I was like, what happens if the one that actually designed it got put in that world?
Well, that kind of sounds cool.
That's cool.
Hey, Doug, are you working on any comics or anything right now? Your own stuff?
What am I? What am I working on?
Are you making your own
Oh
comic?
yeah, well yeah. Actually, I got a secret thing going on.
Secret?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dude.
No, I mean like you'll see it. I'll show it to you when it's ready.
You better show it to me first on a DM or something. I'm gonna feel
You got a
special.
deal. You got a deal.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna show my crap. I don't know. For some reason, I couldn't get going tonight. I kind of sucking hard. This is supposed to be a design for my bad dude, the Messiah.
Nice.
I
like
don't
it.
know. You guys ever have those days where your brain tells your hand to draw and the hand's like, no?
Every
Trim the
day.
beard up. Trim the beard.
Yeah.
Definitely trim the beard to where it's real thin and tight.
Okay.
That should make it more. The long hair works really well, but
Okay.
I would definitely trim the beard up.
See, yeah. He's going to have white hair and white beard.
Okay. You're going white and white. I thought you were going.
Well, see, he's going through I guess I'll go ahead and say it here. No one's going to really give a shit. It's Scorn from the team, but he turned into a bad guy.
Okay.
And he went through a very traumatic thing. He basically died, came back, and you know how they say when you go through a trauma, there's hair color? Like, see, this is all hair that is now white. This is like age trauma.
Yeah, stress.
You know, well, I get stressed when I look in the mirror and I see this horrible thing staring back at me. That shocks my system like every time. And then I get stressed out when I look and see how awesome I am. So, I mean, I'm stressed no matter what I do. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Wow, this is a tough room tonight. Nobody's laughing, man. I gotta put a laugh track on here or something.
Uh-huh.
Shit. Well, I'm gonna have to wrap it up because it's getting late. I'm making chili mac for me and mom tonight.
I understand. Yeah, it's,
We're gonna rock out with our dinner bowls out. We're gonna watch some more. You'll be getting into ER, dude. I've always wanted to watch that show.
Is that
Never
so long?
really got a chance to. Well, I'm streaming, dude. I got the high speed
okay.
internet now, bro.
There you go.
I
Good for
can
you.
do
Good for
stuff now. I'm like part of modern day society.
good for
There you
you.
go.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how awesome it is to check email and you don't have to go fix a cup of coffee or something and come back and you still download one freaking attachment?
I like getting the coffee.
Oh man, it's so good. So okay, does anybody got anything they want to pimp? Anybody got tell everybody where they are, what they're doing, what you think of them, what you smell like, whatever you want to do.
Just like I said, we're still waiting on pages. Don's doing a good job. I've been very happy with his work on the coloring. So once we get everything done, I can send it to the printer, and we will have them going for full.
This is true. I am the man.
Got Duck Bacon Graphics on Instagram, Duck Bacon Graph on X.
Yeah, if you
And,
people out there ain't following Duck Bacon on Instagram, you're retarded. Okay, the man is the bomb. Follow him right now, ASAP. Do it. Tell him again where it is.
Duck Bacon Graphics.
Get there now. What are you waiting for? Go. Log off. Do it. So look, we appreciate you guys popping in, checking us out. We're gonna wrap it up. Say goodnight. And this is my first time using Restream. So what do you guys think?
It's nice. It's nice. I mean, I don't see much of a difference between it and StreamYard. So
Yeah, I think it worked pretty good.
I need to figure out like why it's doing the mirror thing. I gotta
Okay,
figure that out.
I can tell you how to fix that. You see where your camera system is?
Okay.
Okay,
All
click on that. It'll bring up. Okay, actually go to settings.
Settings,
Yeah,
got it.
Go to video.
Video, got it.
Look at the bottom. You'll see where it says video input.
Oh, there we go. It says mirror camera.
Right
Okay,
now,
got it.
you're watching Duck Bacon fix his streaming setup.
Yes, turn it off.
Let's see. Look at that. That's forwards. Look
He
at
is
that.
now rightly-eyed, no longer crooked-eyed.
Oh, that's a
It's a
fantastic.
world where everything
That is
appeared in the
that's a
right way.
fantastic book right there. That one is fantastic.
Oh yeah. That was one of my first Batman books I bought back in '89. When did that come out? '89, yeah.
Dude,
And,
you know what my first Batman book was?
That's
so
right.
awesome.
The McFarlane one, where he's got the crazy cape on the
Oh,
cover.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude.
Oh, I've got that. Yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah.
Oh, comic book convention, New York. Todd McFarlane's there. The guy who actually owns the original artwork showed up with the original artwork.
Shut up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude.
Todd put it up on social media. He goes, "You're not going to believe this. Look at this."
That's awesome.
God, I miss all the good
Hold on,
stuff.
just before we finish the stream, I got something to show you.
He's going to show off again.
Oh,
I knew it.
that's so awesome.
I knew it. Damn this man.
That's so
He's got
cool.
all the good stuff. He's got all the
He does.
toys, making money from all these books.
Hey, it was a
So this
choice to
is
have him.
Todd McFarlane's first ever published comic book that he did professionally,
Alien
Coyote?
and he did
What
autograph.
was it? Infinity Incorporated?
No,
Coyote.
Coyote.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm turning in my comic book nerd card. I don't know.
but no, he autographed it for me. I'm fixing to send it into CGC.
See, I
That's
can't
awesome.
even get Bancroft shit anymore. I know less than he does.
But
Jesus.
this is 1985.
85.
Yes.
I was knee high to
Awesome.
that sash.
That's awesome.
85. How old was I? I think
I remember finding that one time. I was like, oh, I can't believe I found this.
Yeah.
Good old days. Back when comic books were comic books, boys were boys and girls were girls, and you didn't get in trouble for telling the proof apart.
Yeah. At that point in time, it was like, I got to have every book that Jim Lee ever drew. I got to have every book that Todd drew, Marx
Yep.
drew. I even have some of Mark's rare stuff
Mhm.
that a lot of people don't even know about.
And one day they will say, in the landscapes of eternity, that they will have to have every book that James Lee ever wrote, that Duck Bacon ever drew, and that
There
Don
you go.
Edwards even cast a look at. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the studio. I've been Don. They've been who they are, and you are who you are. And we're going to say goodnight. So, good night.